Hey, what's up, guys? It's Spencer with the Fantasy Fanatics. I'm here with Nathan. How we doing, Nathan?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. So today we got wide receivers, six of them that we like at their current ADP. Tomorrow we'll be releasing six quarterbacks we don't like. Yesterday we had
Wide receivers.
six wide receivers we don't like. That's correct. Uh, Yesterday we had running backs that we don't like at their current ADP. You can check out all of our rankings and other articles at thefffanatics.com. Head over to our Twitter, thefffanatics3. We tweet, I don't know, now that it's preseason, probably hourly, right?
Uh, yeah, it depends on what you're watching, and also make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Oh, yes. Yes. 100 subscribers. We have said it, or 2,000 followers on Twitter. We will do a 12-hour live stream from, 11:30 to 11:30 on the
That's
first
cool with me.
football
Yeah,
Sunday?
yeah, the whole Sunday, and we are one subscriber away from halfway to our goal, almost to 50. Big thanks to everybody who subscribed.
Big things coming.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but let's start it out. So six wide receivers that we like at their ADP. I'll start it off with a popular one, Michael Thomas. If we're getting Michael Thomas, who is 100% healthy, I mean, he was going, 27th last year? I remember 27 being his ranking on ESPN for a long time for standard. Um, and I can't remember, did you draft him last year or did you trade for him?
Um, I
Or
think
is it,
I'm fairly certain I did draft him last year, and he got ruled out pretty quickly, so he exited my team rather rapidly.
yeah, but if you're getting the 100% healthy Michael Thomas, it's a no-brainer to draft him. His ADP is in the late 60s as the wide receiver 27.
Yeah,
Um,
the only question is Jameis, in my opinion.
yeah, but the last time Jameis played, he supported two top 15 receivers in Chris Godwin and Mike Evans.
Yeah, and also not no Sean Payton, so we don't really know what kind of system we're going to be getting. But if Jameis, the whole color vision, if his colorblind has gone away, then you never know. Michael Thomas could be floating between the wide receiver 1 and 2 territory.
Yeah, I mean, when Michael Thomas is healthy, if he is fully healthy, starts week one, and Jameis is, was throwing tuds like he was last year.
Learn to the Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas is easily a wide receiver one, I think.
Okay.
I
I
think
disagree. I'd say wide receiver 2.
I think there's actually a route to a top five wide receiver finish.
Okay. I mean, I'm a
So,
believer in his
I mean,
talent. I just don't know about Jameis.
he's stupid good in his 20s. I mean, he was competing for the best wide receiver alive 2 years ago
Mm-hmm.
with DeAndre Hopkins. But who do you have?
My first one I'm going to go with is Courtland Sutton. He is currently going as wide receiver 25. I think that is a pretty good value. I see him as getting more of the DK role compared to Judy getting more of the Lockett role with Russ. Russ likes a good big receiver who he can just fire it into. Even though DK didn't hit the 1,000-yard mark last year, he was second or third in Tuds. So I could see Courtland Sutton getting that. I think Denver's offense is going to be a lot better than Seattle's offense was with Russ. And I think Sutton's going to be the main recipient. I look for him to have 140, 150 targets. I think they're going to feed him. And I think
Yeah,
he's a great player.
I mean, he's going as the wide receiver 25.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're getting great value. I expect 1,000-yard season. I expect maybe 8+ touchdowns. I mean,
I could see well in double figures. I could see
if
at 12.
he's Russ's number one. That's the only question. I mean, who's going to be his number one, Jerry, or Courtland Sutton? But if Courtland Sutton is the number one, I could definitely see a top 10, top 15 finish from him. I mean, he's stupid talented too.
Mm-hmm.
We just haven't been able to see what he could do with Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater back there the past couple of years.
And he's also dealt with injuries as well. So it's kind of
Didn't he tear
blurred him.
Didn't he tear his ACL last year or a couple years ago?
I want to say it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, because he was recovering last year. Yeah, that's right.
Right. Who you got next?
But next I have Juju Smith-Schuster. Not a great year last year at all. The whole TikTok dance stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that's all in the past though.
He caught one more touchdown than me and you did.
If you're Mahomes' number one, you're going to be good. I mean, maybe he's the number one receiver. He's obviously not the number one target with Travis Kelce there, but he's going as the wide receiver 34 right now. I have him at 17. You have him at 22. I think we're both expecting pretty big season from Juju.
I do, yeah. I think people are. I mean, it's understandable to be caught up in last year's stats and being disappointed. He dealt with injuries last year as well. He missed a majority of the season. And the year before, he was pretty underwhelming. But the Chiefs' offense compared to the old Steelers' offense, run by Big Ben, it's going to be night and day. I think Mahomes is going to feed Juju. I don't think the running game is going to get going because it sounds like Ronald Jones may not make the roster, and Clyde, we've seen, can't really carry the running game. So it's going to be pass heavy. It's going to have to be.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last video. How what's his name? Isaac Pacheco.
Yeah,
is emerging. Yeah, that the whole running game is an absolute question mark to say the least.
I'd probably stay away from all of it, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. So who do you have next?
Next we got Mike Williams, currently going as the wide receiver 18. It's always been the health with him, but he showed last year when he's healthy. I mean, Justin Herbert's a stud, arguably top 2 quarterback in the AFC behind Mahomes. And
I am not as big of a fan as Herbert as most people are. I think I've made that known a few times.
I think he's a stud. Should have made the playoffs last year. But anyways, Mike Williams, super talented. He's their deep ball guy. Herbert's got a rocket of an arm, loves to throw deep. And I mean, if he can stay healthy, I see him going for about 1,200 yards. Last year he had 9 tuds. I could see easily 12. I think if you can get him in the high 30s, low 40s, I think that's an absolute steal. He's got wide receiver potential in that offense. That means it's going to be a great offense with Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler. So that'd be my expectations. What do you think? Do you think you can get him at a bargain?
Yeah, I mean, he's going around the pick 50 right now as the wide receiver 18. I have him as wide receiver 25. I am not as high on him.
Okay.
I think he is. I think Justin Herbert is due for regression instead of progression.
Okay.
And I think Keenan Allen is the clear number 1 in that offense. And they got Gerald Everett now. And it sounds like Josh Palmer is actually, I know we're talking about a 5th string wide receiver from last year, but I don't see Mike Williams catching 76 passes. And I sure don't see him having 1,150 yards. I can see the touchdown staying the same. But I think he's due for some regression.
I mean, he is their big body target in the end zone. So,
and he's always had health problems too.
Right. That's what I was talking about. If he stays healthy for the whole season, I think low end wide receiver 1, just because they throw so much.
I think at best he's a high end wide receiver 2.
Okay. Who you got?
I have Chris Godwin. He is going as the wide receiver 21. That has moved up a few spots since a couple weeks ago when it was announced that he is, full goes at practice. I have him at 13.
Yeah, ignore my rankings until we update him. He'll be way higher.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anybody rank him that high. I'm going off the old Chris Godwin.
Right.
If we're getting fully healthy Chris Godwin with Tom Brady as quarterback, he could be a wide receiver 1 because Tom Brady could support 2 wide receiver 1s. He will draw the second best cornerback from a team,
maybe 3rd
with Julio.
Yeah.
I mean that's
because he plays in the slot. So,
I mean, he could realistically draw the second or third best, cornerback every week. Yeah. He almost caught 100 passes last year, and he missed the last 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head.
I had 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. Maybe the touchdowns will go up too. But going as wide receiver 21 right now, and if that stays the same through the whole draft process, then you're getting an absolute steal.
I agree. He showed last year at times he was Brady's favorite target too.
Yeah, I mean they were all switching between Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, and Andy did that with Antonio Brown there for most of the year until Antonio Brown freaked out.
Yeah, I think Godwin, when for this year when it's Evans, Godwin's, and Julio and Russell Gage, whoever, I think Godwin's the most consistent because you saw games last year where Mike Evans had monster games, but there'll also be some where he'd have like
1 catch for 6 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, he had a lot of those games where it was like 1 or 2 catches for 2 yards and a tud, and like that touchdown, made it like sort of okay, but then he'd follow it up with like 150 and like 2 tuds. So you're like, okay, there's Mike. There's
I
Mike
think
Evans.
Mike Evans is insane too.
Yeah, very underrated.
Yeah. So who do you have for the last one?
My last one is Darnell Mooney. I know this is it's kind of contradictory to when I was talking about Justin Fields, but there's only one guy in that offense I think who's going to consistently catch passes, and that's Darnell Mooney. I don't think Cole Kmet's going to be like a major factor. He'll get his here and there, but Mooney's the only established receiver. I mean, who's next up? Can you name three other Bears receivers?
I don't think I could name one other.
Don't they have Byron Pringle and Velas
Jones?
Velas Jones? Yeah, I think that's the starting 3 receivers. So it's either going to be run the ball or throw to Darnell Mooney. And Darnell Mooney looked good last year. He's going to get their best corner now that Allen Robinson's gone, but I think he's a stud. He really good after the catch. He's fast as hell. I mean, it all depends on, can Justin Fields live up to what we're expecting him to progress to. I think that's the main issue.
Yeah. So I think Darnell Mooney was the most talented wide receiver on the roster last year.
I mean, that's fair. He looked better than Allen Robinson, that's for sure.
Yeah, but 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns last year. I expect both of those numbers to go up.
On arguably one of the worst offenses in the league. So
who will be down? I think we talked about that in one of the videos earlier. They'll always be down.
Yeah.
So who knows? But I think I have him ranked at 28. I just need to see. I had Justin Fields, I think, as one of the quarterbacks I love because of his rushing. If he gets the passing down pat, he's going to finish better than 28 that I have.
That's fair. Yeah.
But I think that's it.
That is it. That's all 6 receivers from us. Like Spencer said earlier, follow us on Twitter, the FF Fanatics 3. Check out the website at the FF Fanatics, and make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are at 49 as this video is being recorded. Get us to 100. We'll do the live stream on week 1.
Yeah, and tomorrow we'll have the 6 wide receivers that we don't like.
That's right.
So that should also be a banger.
But all right, guys. Appreciate y'all for watching.